Public relations suffers from a terrible reputation. About 70% of the public says they don't trust the profession. Meanwhile, two-thirds of journalists believe that PR people try to spin stories too often. Now, while public relations may rely on creative presentation of the facts, spin implies disingenuous, deceptive, or highly manipulative tactics. Let's take a look at spin and other actions deliberately taken by PR and marketing professionals that can land them in hot water, ethically speaking. If you were to work in PR, the first thing you want to do is avoid deception, including lying and withholding information to create a false impression. Not everything that is known or communicated within an organization needs to be made public, but withholding information is ethically suspect when it's intended to mislead or when it's used to conceal information that others need to make their own life decisions. For example, Ryan Lochte came under fire for what he did in the 2016 Olympics. He publicized his altercation and initially tried to sanitize the story by omitting his own bad behavior. Had he been completely honest from the get-go, he might have received sympathy from the public. But because he wasn't and instead withheld key details about what happened, he was branded a liar and lost several sponsorship deals. The lesson: your reputation is your most important asset. If the public or media thinks they can't trust you, you'll struggle to earn their trust back. The first inclination for many people under fire is to say, hey, let's wait and see what happens. But as President Carter's press secretary Jody Powell used to say, bad news is a lot like fish. It doesn't get better with age. The cardinal rule of communicating in a crisis is tell the truth, tell it all, and tell it fast. Second, avoid faking corporate social responsibility, or CSR. Corporate social responsibility, as defined by Wikipedia, is a self-regulatory mechanism whereby a business monitors and ensures its active compliance with the spirit of the law, ethical standards, and international norms. It has become a staple in the corporate world. Corporations that disregard corporate responsibility risk more than their reputation, a 2013 study by Cone Communications found. Indeed, 9 in 10 citizens said they would boycott if they learned of irresponsible behavior. Facing this consumer pressure, businesses will sometimes engage in unethical practices, such as greenwashing, or pretending their product is environmentally friendly when it's not. For example, in recent years, Walmart has proclaimed to go green with a sustainability campaign. However, according to the Institute for Local Reliance, Walmart's sustainability campaign has done more to improve the company's image than the environment. Walmart still only generates 2% of U.S. electricity from wind and solar resources. According to the Institute, Walmart routinely donates money to political candidates who vote against the environment. Another shady practice that's similar to greenwashing is pinkwashing. This involves companies presenting their products as helping support the fight against breast cancer, when in fact they're not. Third, creating misleading images and message construction to imply something that may not represent reality is also unethical. For example, many homogeneous colleges will give the false impression that they have a diverse student body by staging photos that overrepresent their minority student population, and then featuring the images on their websites and in their brochures. Fourth, PR practitioners should avoid lack of transparency in word-of-mouth marketing and social network public relations. For example, some businesses and restaurants have been caught paying people to write fake positive reviews about them. This practice, known as astroturfing, violates the principle of transparency. Fifth, avoid conflicts of interest. These can sneak up on you. The basic definition of a PR conflict of interest is being involved in multiple interests where one could possibly corrupt your decision-making of the other. An example would be working for a company such as Coca-Cola when you own stock in Pepsi, their major competitor. The possibility exists that your PR decisions would not be as honest in this situation, as lowering your employer's sales might increase your own bank account. Another conflict of interest example would be a PR firm representing 2 cell phone companies that compete against each other, such as Verizon and AT&T. Can that public relations firm possibly devote its full energy to pursuing their individual clients' interests and maintain the confidentiality level required between the competing companies? If you were the CEO of Company X and you found out that your public relations agency was courting a competitor, Company Y, wouldn't you be concerned? While you should be aware of and avoid these unethical practices, keep in mind that the ethics of public relations doesn't boil down to simply recognizing shady tactics. It is a matter of wanting to do the right thing. While PR practitioners have an obligation to serve their clients, they also always are morally obligated to themselves to preserve their own integrity and to the profession and to their professional colleagues to uphold the standards of the profession, and finally to society to consider what's best for the public.